The truth about men who live alone without a girlfriend. Ever wonder what it's like for a man who chooses to live alone? Not out of necessity, but because he truly wants to. In a world that constantly tells us happiness comes from being in a relationship where success is measured by companionship and solitude is feared, there's a different kind of man. This man isn't lonely or incomplete. Instead, he embraces solitude as a path to strength, self-discovery, and peace. Society often views a man who lives alone without a girlfriend as someone who must be miserable. But what if that's not true? What if solitude is not a weakness, but a superpower? Imagine a man who walks his own path, finding emotional validation from within, not from others. This man is stronger, more resilient, and more in tune with himself than most people will ever be. Throughout history, some of the greatest minds, philosophers, warriors, and visionaries have spent long periods of time in solitude, not because they had to, but because they knew something most people don't. Solitude is an opportunity to master yourself, to sharpen your mind, to live with discipline, and to become a man who doesn't need external validation. The ancient Stoics, like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, believed that the key to happiness wasn't found in relationships, wealth, or status. Instead, they believed in self-mastery, in controlling your mind, emotions, and actions. That's what we're going to explore today. This isn't about criticizing relationships or saying having a partner is wrong. It's about understanding the wisdom in standing on your own, finding happiness without relying on anyone else. A man who learns to thrive in solitude is a man who is truly free. And according to the Stoics, freedom is the foundation of a powerful and meaningful life. So, if you've ever felt like you're different for choosing independence, if you've wondered whether living alone means you're missing out, or if you just want to understand the deeper strength that solitude offers, stick around. We're about to uncover 7 powerful truths about the man who walks alone. One fundamental truth about a man living independently is that he truly masters the art of self-sufficiency. There's a unique strength that comes from knowing you can rely on yourself for everything. Most people naturally depend on others for things like emotional support, financial stability, or even just to get through the daily grind. But a man who lives alone doesn't have that built-in support system. He doesn't have a partner to help manage his emotions, cook meals, or remind him of small tasks. No one is there to split the bills or step in when times get tough. While this might feel overwhelming at first, over time, it builds an incredible sense of self-sufficiency. For instance, if you don't cook, you don't eat. If you don't clean, you live in a messy space. Every single aspect of his life is entirely up to him, and this realization deeply fosters his independence. The Stoics strongly emphasize this, teaching that a man should be able to stand on his own 2 feet. Seneca once wisely said, "He who is content with the least is the richest," reminding us that true contentment lies in being self-sufficient, not in chasing luxuries. This mindset isn't just about money, it's about understanding that you don't need constant companionship or external approval to feel whole and complete. A man who can provide for himself and competently manage his own life truly embodies freedom. Another powerful aspect of this solitary journey is that he learns to embrace solitude as a profound source of strength. Most people often fear being alone, automatically linking solitude with loneliness. However, the man who genuinely understands himself doesn't just tolerate being by himself, he actively embraces it. He finds he doesn't need constant distractions, endless social interactions, or meaningless relationships to fill an empty void. Instead, he intelligently uses his time alone to think deeply, reflect, and grow as an individual. The Stoics, including Marcus Aurelius, firmly believed that solitude is one of the most potent tools for self-discovery. By removing all the external noise and chatter, a man can finally hear his own true thoughts. He gains the invaluable space to reflect on his goals, his purpose in life, and his personal weaknesses, all without the influence or pressure of others. A man who truly embraces solitude does not fear silence. Instead, he actively seeks it out. He uses this time to train his mind, develop unmatched mental clarity, and, in the process, become undeniably stronger. This journey of self-reliance also leads him to develop remarkable emotional control and cultivate an inner peace. A man who consistently lives alone tends not to be reactionary. He doesn't allow his emotions to control his actions or thoughts. Life inevitably throws many challenges our way, from disappointments and frustrations to significant setbacks. Yet, a man who has genuinely embraced solitude navigates through all of these difficulties with a profound sense of calm and discipline. The Stoics held that true strength comes from within. As Marcus Aurelius eloquently wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." When you are compelled to deal with your emotions entirely on your own, without a partner constantly reassuring or validating you, you naturally develop unshakable emotional control. Living alone fundamentally forces a man to confront himself, to face his emotions directly, and to handle them without relying on anyone else's input or comfort. This rigorous internal discipline ultimately leads to greater emotional stability, allowing him to remain unshaken and resilient by whatever external forces might try to sway him. Furthermore, a significant truth for this man is that freedom becomes a very rare and cherished thing in his life. In today's complex world, it often feels like many people are trapped, caught in cycles of debt, entangled in toxic relationships, stuck in jobs they hate, or living lifestyles that simply drain their energy and spirit. But the man who chooses to live alone truly enjoys something uniquely precious: genuine freedom. The Stoics wisely taught that true wealth isn't about accumulating a lot, but rather about needing very little. Without the usual financial or emotional obligations that often come with a relationship, he gains full and complete control over his finances. He isn't pressured to spend money to impress anyone, nor does he feel bound by shared expenses. However, financial freedom is only one piece of the puzzle. The real power comes from his mental freedom, the deep-seated ability to make decisions based purely on logic and his personal growth, rather than being swayed by societal expectations or emotional obligations. This profound kind of freedom empowers a man to take calculated risks, explore new career paths, or move to different cities without compromising his own dreams for the sake of a relationship. He stands as the sole architect of his own life, unconstrained and self-directed. This path of solitude also profoundly allows him to cultivate a much deeper sense of purpose. Many people simply drift through life, constantly chasing external pleasures and fleeting distractions, whether they are relationships, money, or social status, believing that happiness resides in these outer pursuits. But a man who lives alone, one who has genuinely embraced the quiet power of solitude, naturally turns inward. Within himself, he finds his true and authentic sense of purpose. In solitude, there are no distractions pulling him in different directions, and no one to impress with his actions or choices. He is simply left with his own thoughts, his deepest desires, and his highest ambitions. The Stoics believed that a man's highest calling is to live with unwavering purpose and virtue, entirely free from distractions. A solitary man, therefore, has the necessary time and the sacred space to reflect deeply and then act deliberately toward achieving his personal goals. He wakes up every day with a clear mission, not because others expect it of him, but because he genuinely expects it of himself. This focused, single-minded pursuit of purpose is precisely what distinguishes the ordinary from the extraordinary. An interesting irony of solitude is revealed in another truth. The more comfortable a man becomes with being alone, the stronger and more meaningful his connections with others become. A man who truly embraces solitude doesn't waste his precious time on shallow or superficial relationships. Instead, he consistently chooses quality over mere quantity, valuing genuine depth in his interactions rather than superficial exchanges. By truly mastering solitude, a man eradicates neediness from his character. He doesn't chase attention or desperately seek validation from others. He naturally forms connections that are built on shared values, mutual respect, and genuine personal growth. This self-contained strength and independence make him incredibly attractive to others. He isn't desperate for companionship. Instead, he genuinely enjoys the company of others, all while knowing, deep down, that his own happiness doesn't depend on anyone else's presence or approval. Finally, The man who walks alone becomes a true Stoic, remarkably unshaken by external circumstances. A man who consistently lives alone fundamentally learns to be unshakable in the face of life's unpredictable nature. He doesn't panic when things go wrong, nor does he crumble under immense pressure. He isn't easily influenced by other people's volatile emotions or fleeting opinions. Instead, he moves through life with an unbreakable calm, disciplined resolve, and quiet self-assurance. This unwavering demeanor is the very essence of Stoicism, accepting life as it is, without constant complaint, fear, or a desire for things to be different. A man who has profoundly mastered solitude truly understands that happiness doesn't originate from external sources. It blossoms from within. He is content with himself, remaining entirely unshaken by rejection, criticism, or unexpected setbacks. He is free, and that profound freedom is precisely what makes him genuinely powerful. In conclusion, when we look at the power of living alone through the lens of Stoicism, what have we truly learned? We've discovered that the man who lives alone is far from weak or lost. He is strong, deeply self-sufficient, emotionally stable, and wonderfully free. He consistently chooses quality over mere quantity in his relationships and lives in a state of profound peace with himself. Living alone doesn't signify that a man is incomplete or missing something essential. Rather, it signifies that he has mastered himself. He is not controlled by external pressures, societal expectations, or his own emotional turmoil. The profound truth is that the most powerful and genuinely successful men are often those who don't need anyone to validate their worth or existence. They deliberately choose to share their lives with others only when those relationships genuinely add significant value rather than completing them. The Stoics wisely taught us that true freedom and lasting happiness begin with genuine self-sufficiency. To truly live a powerful and meaningful life, you must first master your own mind, your emotions, and your actions. So, if you have ever mistakenly felt that solitude somehow makes you weak, always remember this: the man who learns to thrive alone is, in his essence, unstoppable.